Hello everyone, my name is Kenny Cormandy from the YouTube channel Meyer Gun Reviews, and today we are looking at another lemon from, oh wait a minute, today we are reviewing another air rifle from Gamo. This is the Gamo Whisper Fusion Elite 177 caliber. Comes with a 3 to 9x40 scope. It has a fluted polymer jacket steel barrel with their dual chamber whisper technology, supposed to reduce noise by 89.5%. They call it the Quiet 2 X2. It has their IGT inert gas piston, their cat trigger, their recoil reduction rail, an adjustable cheek rest, and there's shockwave absorption butt pad. The rifle I weighted at 7.5 pounds. I believe it's advertised at 47 inches. 18-inch barrel, 32 pounds of cocking effort advertised. It feels right about 30 to 32 pounds of cocking effort. It's got a manual safety and a composite stock. It's nicely shaped stock. It's got slightly softer rubber inserts in here. It's got a pistol grip that I find very comfortable. Adjustable cheek pad. There's 2 screws on the back side that you adjust, but they send you a Torx bit L wrench. It requires a hex head wrench to adjust, so you gotta have your own wrench. It doesn't come with it. Just another little oversight by Gamo. It's rated at 1,300 feet per second, shooting the PVA alloy ammunition. That's a joke, and it sells for about $230. I put about 130 pellets through this doing my initial accuracy test, and I found about 4 pellets that shot pretty good. I will show you the test here in a minute. The scope during that test, I could not get a clear reticle and clear sight objective at 12 yards on my initial accuracy test. It was kind of, the reticle was a little fuzzy and the sight objective was a little fuzzy. And then when I did do the outdoor 20-yard accuracy test, I could not get a clear sight objective at any power. The scope just was not going to work. Did the best that I could with it, and as far as the accuracy goes, I was able to get some very, very tight shot groups, but none of them were very often near the bullseye. So here I will show you my 4 tightest shot patterns in the initial 12-yard test, and you can see the way they progress away from the target. Okay, chronied the rifle with the most accurate pellets. We also shot with the RWS Hobbies for a baseline, and also the PBA Platinum. Now the PBA Platinum 4.7 grain, they claim 1,300 feet per second. We got 1,115 feet per second average. The highest shot was 1,142 feet per second. So that's only 158 feet per second shy of the rifle's claim. And that was with a 54.97 foot per second extreme spread and a 28.38 standard deviation. And so you wonder how Gamo can claim 1,300 feet per second. Now, they sell this little product called speed oil. Now that speed oil, I think they are using that on their PBA platinum pellets to kind of hide the indeficiencies of the pellets and attain that speed. Now I don't have any Gamo speed oil. The oil that I have is a little bit thicker viscosity. But first I'll show you the chrony readings from the dry pellets, and then I'll show you the chrony readings after we oil the pellets and kind of wipe them off just a little bit. Now, as you can see, you can get some whopper feet per second if you oil your pellets. That's not going to do much for accuracy, and I wish they would just develop a more consistent pellet and just advertise the rifle for what it is, not put up these big numbers. People are going to buy the gun thinking it's so powerful, when in fact it's a wimp. Shooting here, I will put up all of the chrony numbers here. You can take a look at that and then we'll discuss it. Okay, so one of the most accurate pellets was the H&N Field Tiger Trophy 8.64 grain. They only developed 87.1 decibels, low of 853.2, high of 880.8, average of 872.7, 23.63 foot per second extreme spread, standard deviation 10.9, average muzzle energy 14.62 foot-pounds muzzle energy. Shooting the JSB Exact Heavy 10.34 grains, we only got an 85 decibel reading, very quiet. We had a low of 788.0, a high of 797.6 feet per second, average 791.7 feet per second. That was a mere 9.66 feet per second extreme spread, standard deviation 3.74. And that gave us an average of 14.39 foot-pounds muzzle energy. A mere 3.25 foot-pounds muzzle energy less than the claim. It also shot the Crossrun Premier Heavies quite well. It had a low of 775.7, high of 793.3, average of 785.5 feet per second, a 17.59 foot per second extreme spread with a standard deviation of 6.78 feet per second, also averaging 14.39 foot-pounds muzzle energy. Shooting the PBA Platinum's dry, the rifle only developed 12.98 foot-pounds of muzzle energy on average. And once they were oiled, we got 23.64. But nobody's going to walk around with a handful of oiled pellets. The biggest problem with the rifle is the scope. You can't get a clear sight objective and it won't hold center, so I really have no idea if the rifle is accurate or not. I did get out and dodge a few raindrops today and did a 20-yard accuracy test. I will show you that and then we will sum it up. Okay, first up is H&N Field Target Trophy 8.64 grain. And then the second pellet will be the JSB Heavy 10.34 grain. The bottom line is this gun is made in Spain, not in China. Spain has a 24.7% unemployment rate. They have wasted a bunch of money developing the shock reduction rail to make the scope last longer, but the scope doesn't last any longer. So Gamo, take the money that you wasted on this recoil reduction rail and just put a regular weaver mount on it like everybody else is doing, and take the money you save from this morphodite piece of junk and put it into developing a more durable scope. Just make a scope that's airgun rated. That's all you got to do. And with all those unemployed people out there, I'm quite sure that there are people out there that would be willing to assemble these guns properly. Out of the last 5 Gamo pellet rifles that I have reviewed, it is required to go through 8 rifles to do those 5 reviews. And of those 8 rifles, exactly 2 of them functioned the way they were supposed to. The first one was a Gamo Big Cat 1400. The first one I got was spewing grease out between the receiver and the stock. There was a couple of screws here, and every time you cocked it, it was pumping grease out back. There was so much grease in it, and naturally the grease was going past the piston seal, and it was shooting heavy lead pellets, supersonic. You couldn't get it cleaned out. I went through 300 pellets, couldn't get it cleaned out. Sent it back, got another one. That one worked. So that was my first experience with a bad Gamo. Second was the Gamo Silent Cat. First one was an absolute piece of junk. It was crunching, grinding, shooting pellets all over the place, no power whatsoever. I mean, the high power on it was in the mid 12 foot-pounds muzzle energy. Exchange it, got another one, same problem. Another piece of junk. I did then review the Gamo Wildcat, 22 caliber, the gas piston, just a 4x32 scope, and their standard plastic trigger. The scope functioned better than this thing did, even though it was only a 4x32. The rifle was accurate. That plastic trigger worked decent. I fixed it up with a longer adjusting screw, and I actually liked that rifle. It had decent power. Then we tried the Gamo Bone Collector Maxim. That rifle shot with average power and consistent shot speeds, but this ultra quiet rifle was shooting at 94 decibels. So halfway through it got really loud and it was shooting pellets all over the place. Took it back, got another one. This one has absolutely no power, no accuracy, nothing. Piece of junk. And now we get this one, and the scope is all screwed up. It's light on power. It's not like it's got a bad piston seal. It might be shooting accurate. We don't know because the scope won't let us find out. So I am definitely all done reviewing Gamo pellet rifles. It's just not worth the headache. This is supposed to be a $230 gun. It's got less power than a $98 gun. I cannot recommend anyone buying any Gamo rifle. They are just pieces of junk. The quality control is non-existent at Gamo, and I will never recommend anybody to buy a Gamo pellet rifle. That is my review of the Gamo Whisper Fusion Elite. Thank you for watching.